What is up, you guys? It's the Fallout with here, and today I'm doing a new What If. This is gonna be a romantic, not really romantic, but this is gonna be what if Deku fell in love with Ravage or Ravager. I forgot, but her name is Rose Wilson, the daughter of Slade Wilson. You know, Deadpool, Deathstroke. Oh no, no. Deathstroke. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's if I remember correctly, he was kind of like an experimented man who's also an assassin. He worked, I think, for the military. I am probably screwing up his backstory, but it's a bad guy it's Batman's bad guy. Deathstroke is the one with the sword and guns. He's not related to Deathshot, who just uses guns and who wears that red and white. But Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, wears that orange and black. I kind of got confused for a second myself. But anyway, now you guys may be wondering, how is this gonna take place? And let me tell you right now, it's going to take place as Izuku's dad, who was all for one. His dad, all for one, you know, he is a bad guy, and the son is Izuku. Now we got that out of the way. For a while, Izuku never fit in life. But he had a friend named Bakugo. And, well, she actually helps him out. Yes, it's a female. And no, as much as I wanted it to be the love interest, this is not going to be the love interest. Possibly. Right now, these two are fighting around. Bakugo, not looking like a girl, keeps fighting with Izuku, and Izuku just keeps fighting with her, and these two are the bestest of friends. But one day, Hisashi, aka All for One, told Izuku that they had to go and bid Bakugo farewell. Bakugo says that one day she's gonna be a hero so she can protect the world, and one day protect him. And Izuku says that hopefully she succeeds in that. Izuku, on the other hand, finds out about who All for One is. And Izuku's life is very different. Whereas Inko basically died after giving birth due to a lot of strain in the pregnancy. And yes, All for One did fall in love with Inko. It wasn't just like oh, I just want a kid very badly. No, he actually felt for her. And Izuku was wondering to himself, what is he going to do? And instead of going into their house, they get teleported by a guy named Kurogiri. And they live in this warehouse. Yeah, it is a warehouse. And Izuku's wondering to himself, why are we not home? And where are they? All for One says, Izuku, I am not just Hisashi Midoriya. I am also a man that lived for, I think, 200 years. I think that's what they said in the comics, in the manga. Around, since the beginning of quirks. And this is when he tells him, son, you have no powers, actually. As far as I'm aware, you were not born with this, or with anything. You are born quirkless. And it's not from your mother. It may have been from me. I probably did something to your DNA which caused you to be regular. And for that I am sorry. But I wanted to wait until you were of a proper age to give you some abilities. Izuku says, wait, you can do that? Yes, son, I can do that. Now, focus here. Is there a power that I can give you? Is there a power that can make you think, oh, this is very interesting? Now, I want you to think long and hard on this. For now, you can think of any power. You can even say it right now, and I will give it to you. For I have accumulated a lot of quirks over my entire life. And believe me, if there's a quirk that you want, I possibly have had it already. And if not, we can scour the city for one. And this is when Izuku just says, you know, I want a teleportation quirk where I can just like swap places with somebody or something. And he says, oh, that seems actually, that's not too difficult. You know what? Consider it done. This is when Izuku just gets a quirk, and then his body and his mind just start feeling like it's going out of control until his body starts calming down again with him breathing heavily. All for One says, I was wondering whether if that would happen to you, but, well, in case of that, here, there's some medicine right here. It will get you used to having your quirk. Right now, your body is just going through the changes. Izuku is wondering why and how did he get a quirk from his dad. I thought quirks were, you know, what's the word? Like, individual. Special to just one person. And All for One says, well, I have a quirk that far exceeds any other quirk in this entire world. There is another to it, akin to it, but I will not speak about it until you are older. Now, go along and play with your quirk. Tell me how it works for you, and we'll see if later on in life, until you become older, or at least old enough to get another quirk. Izuku says, wait, like, I can get 2 quirks? But Bakugo only had 1 quirk. Yes, I know that. But for you, my son, that's just 1 quirk. And you have the ability to possibly hold a lot more than just 1. But for now, since you are still a child, I will not give you 1. Just play around with your new quirk. And stay in the house. Well, I should give you a Nomu. But I don't know what to give you. This is when Izuku just starts walking around, looking at all the Nomus that he can have. His dad, One for All, loves him very much, but he's a bit of a guy. He's the kind of guy that will spoil you, but be stern when he spoils you. Izuku looks at all the Nomus right now, from the biggest ones to the tiniest ones, ones that are very fast, and ones that can fly, even ones that look like they can talk. And this is when he looks at one who just starts turning his body into different things, such as he can turn his body into a knife, a sword, a scythe, a pair of shoes, a jacket. And Izuku looks at this and he says, Dad, what is this? And All for One says, oh, that is a creation, giving him the abilities to become a utility. It was more of a utility quirk that he had. He can turn into anything that he can desire, or that somebody give an idea that somebody gives him. Whatever it is, he can actually mimic. Although he is kind of hard to listen. He can listen to you, but he can choose whether to not listen at all. He is one of those creatures that can obey your command, but still have the ability to refuse. This is when Izuku says, huh. And then he looks at it and says, hey, can you turn into a stick? And the creature looks at it and obliges. And it just turns into a regular stick. This is when All For One says, huh, it listens to you. Well, then I think that this is going to be yours. Now, remember, just because I am giving you one doesn't mean that I'm going to give you a lot. Just use this one sparingly. Don't think that it's going to be immortal. And don't get too attached to it. It's not a friend, it's a tool. Izuku says, alright. And this is when he tells Izuku never to tell anybody about this. For if anybody knows, bad people can hurt him. And Izuku, hearing that, says, alright, I won't do it. And he starts walking off. Him telling Kurogiri, make sure to follow my son. I have some business to attend to. And this is when Izuku and Kurogiri just start, traveling for a while. Just going around the cities. And this is when Kurogiri has to wear a kind of like face mask that hides his true identity. Everybody doesn't know who he is. He's just a butler. And Izuku is just a regular kid. And he tells the Nobu, can you turn into a backpack, please? I don't want a lot of people to see you. And if my dad says that you're not supposed to be seen, then I will try to listen to my dad. The Nobu obliges and just starts morphing into a backpack that it sees on the side of the road. And Izuku just says, alright, perfect. It's not even heavy at all. And this is when Kurogiri says, yes, his quirk is kind of weird. But it seemed that your father wanted to use it for, well, in case if he needs to be giving armor or some kind of weapon. And Izuku says, but my dad, isn't he strong? Kurogiri says, yes, but one can never be too prepared. Especially with the concoctions and plans that your father has. Thus giving him a reputation that no other villain has. And he says, so my dad's a villain. But he says something about bad guys getting him. And I don't think bad guys should hurt bad guys. And Kurogiri looks at him saying, your naivety is adorable. But, for now, we should worry about getting you something to eat. This is when they're in the city, and two guys look at Izuku and Kurogiri, and Izuku says, "Oh hi, sorry that we bumped into you." The man says, "Huh, a butler and a kid. Do you think they're loaded?" Kinda depends. But we can hold him for ransom. Kurogiri just immediately starting to use his quirk, realizes that he can't just use it out of the open. can't use it out in the open. Izuku says, what are you guys talking about? Kurogiri says, stay back, young man. Stay back, sir. These two are not trying to be kind to you. They're gonna try to hurt you. This is when the guy starts becoming a wolf man, and the other one turns into a freaking, well, how do I say it? He becomes a freaking tree man and just starts growing roots. He becomes more giant-like. And Izuku just says, what's happening? Kurogiri says, I must use it. And he uses the teleportation on is about to use the teleportation to get Izuku out of there, but gets smacked away by the tree man. And Izuku starts using, well, his quirk and just looks around to see a can. And immediately he just feels this urge to just swap places with it. And he does. This is when he says, so my quirk can do that, huh? How did I know that? This is when he thinks, is it because of the medicine that Dad gave me? Doesn't matter right now, I'm scared. And he sees that the guy says, what the? Did he turn into a can? No, you idiots. The kid's over there. He must have some kind of teleportation quirk. And this is when he says, careful. If he can do that, then he could possibly, he's possibly a little more trickier than we first thought. This is when Izuku just starts, teleporting again from another side. And he's trying to walk around and see if there's, any more things. And he's trying to walk towards Kurogiri because right now his legs are in pain after getting, falling down. He kind of hurt his right knee. This is when Kurogiri just uses that teleportation and just puts a portal, not teleportation, a portal, uses a portal to trap the guy in one side and cut him in half. But this is when the guy starts laughing and says, I'm a tree man. You can't kill me easily. This is when Kurogiri is just wondering, how is he going to get him out of here? Where's the other guy? He starts wondering and says, Izuku, where are you? And Izuku sees that the guy's about to hit Kurogiri. Kurogiri saying that he probably failed him, but he's gonna try. And Izuku just starts running and getting hurt, but he says, "Hey, Nobu, turn into a rope." And this is when he uses the rope, and well, he hits a mailbox, and he just starts flying now through the freaking he starts not flying but ziplining to Kurogiri and just tumbles around. And he looks at the tree man, and the tree man says, "Oh, so you're trying to defend your butler, eh? Well, too bad, kid. I thought I was gonna hold you for ransom, but you're starting to piss me off. So just die." And this is when Izuku just thinks to himself, what does he do? What is he supposed to do? And in a split second, he thought to himself, if he could switch places with the can he switch places with the guy that is a wolf? and he looks at the wolf man and just automatically teleports to where he was at. Vice versa, the man just wonders where is he at, and the tree man just slams his whole arm on him, causing the wolf guy to basically get knocked out and possibly die. Kurogiri's seeing this and he says he actually did it. He took one of them down without even having to lay a finger on them. Huh. And this is when he snaps out and says, "Now you." Looking at the tree man and just doing it, using a portal on him. But this time, she says, if cutting half of you didn't kill you, then what if I do it multiple times? This is when he just starts going for the arms and the legs, the torso, and for the head. He just closes the portals. And with this, Izuku sees that the guy is dead, but the tree man is now in pieces. He looks at him and says, "How dare you? You were just a butler." And he says, "I am merely just a butler. I am more than that. But the public will just see an old man defending himself and a kid who just happens to have a better quirk than you." And he says, "You guys cheated. No, we just outplayed you." This is when he grabs Izuku, and Izuku's passed out because of his use of his quirk. Which, if you guys don't know, his quirk is it's not a teleportation, it's more of a matter transfer. He can swap places with about anything, despite how much he kind of can't. If something's smaller than him, he can teleport there with little to no effort. But if it's a bigger object, such as a car or a person, he's gonna have to expend more energy. And since this is his first time doing it, he faints. Now, Izuku is telling all of them, no, not Izuku, Kurogiri just uses the portal and actually portals himself to the house. For now, Izuku is passed out. Give me a second here, people. So, Izuku is wondering what happened to him. And basically, they all for one says, "Son, you are actually capable to fight. You were capable enough to at least handle yourself against two people with the assistance of Kurogiri. Now, you didn't do all the work, as I've heard, but you were willing to let somebody else die instead of you. Well, that takes a lot of heart and a lot of, mental strength to kill your first baddie." And he says, "Wait, I killed somebody? Doesn't that make me a villain?" All for one says, "You're gonna have to think about this. I know that you don't want to be a bad guy. You wanted to be a hero, like that girl that you've talked to in the past. But now you are in the shadows. And there's a bunch of things I must do. In all honesty, I do not want to hurt. I do not want to kill. I just want to make paradise. But there's a hierarchy in the system. And we have to kill. Can you do that, son? Are you willing to protect those you care about from people that are going to hurt innocent people? Is this world bad enough that I have to send my own child, who is my own flesh and blood? I have to send you off training. Kurogiri will train you. And not only that, I will send more Nomus into the facility. At least inside the basement. There you will train, and you will fight. I do not know how you will fight, but when you become 16, I will give you a second quirk. And when you become strong enough to handle that one, I will see whether if I should give you a quirk early or probably not. You are not 100% me, but you have the potential to at least be just good or just as powerful as me. Now, it is time for you to go home. I will see you in a couple of months. Now, let's see. At the age of 14, Izuku is going to middle school. And after this, Izuku is basically by himself for a while, till a couple of guys start looking at him and says, "Hey, here comes Mr. Magician over here." And they start saying, "What, you think you're freaking fancy and all that stuff, just because you can move around in different places? Please, I got a speed quirk. I can catch up to you in milliseconds if I have to." Izuku says, "Oh no. You guys have to catch up to me? What for? I have not even done anything to you guys." And this is when they say, "Cut the wisecracks, kid. You know what we're talking about. You beat up one of our guys yesterday." And this middle schooler is looking straight at him. He's older than him by what, a year or so? And Izuku just starts looking serious. Or not serious, but kind of seriously wicked, I guess. With a smirk and saying, "Yeah, he was talking a lot of crap earlier. And not only that, he was just too overconfident that he can beat me up just because my quirk doesn't seem to be just as good as anybody else's." This is when he says, "So, what if I fight you right now?" And this is when Izuku says, "Alright, but it's gonna be a 1v1, right? Not a 1v3. They said, "You know what? Yeah, sure. My guys aren't gonna fight you." And this is when the other two start laughing a little bit. They says, "Yeah, we totally won't do that." And Izuku says, "Oh, thank God. For a moment there, I thought I was gonna have to fight all three of you. But if it's one, that'll be no problem." This is when they all go into the back of the school. And this is when they're trying to get ready. And they said, "You know what? A change of pace. Since you did beat up one of our guys, I think it's only right that my friends help out too. Because since we're all together, we all fight as a team, right, boys?" Oh boy, you're stupid idiots. Izuku starts laughing back. "Oh, really? I see. You guys thought that. You guys didn't think this through, huh?" And this is when they said, "What are you talking about? It's a 3v1. I knew you guys were lying, but I willingly decided to let you guys fight me. Do you know why?" They said, "No, why? Why is it?" "It's because I knew from the moment you guys stepped foot to me, I knew that whatever you were trying to do wouldn't work. But if you guys think any of you three can beat me, just come on to me, and I'll show you how truly pathetic your attempts are. This is when they say, "Alright, if you insist, I won't do anything. I won't do anything to jeopardize this opportunity." And for a split second, the guy just starts running towards him, full speed. It's like 30 miles an hour. And this is when he was gonna clock Izuku, but Izuku says, "So predictable," and basically teleports with another guy, or basically swap places with one of the other friends, and just freaking gets punched straight in the freaking jaw. But he had a fire quirk, so his body was lighting up in fire, causing him to be a fireman. And this is when the guy starts saying, "You freaking idiot! You broke my jaw!" And this is when the guy's hand is like burnt, because he punched it pretty hard, and he thought he was gonna enjoy it for a second, but after feeling it, his hand did get, burnt a little bit, kind of like seared. And this is when he says, "Oh boy, you guys aren't thinking this through. You must fight me if you guys want to survive." The guy says, "Survive? What are you talking about?" This is when Izuku just jumps in the air, and then just seeing his jacket just says "bat," and the jacket that he was wearing turns into a bat and just slams into the freaking head of the guy, causing his head to be his skull to get cracked, well, not a bit but a lot. And after that, he just says "zip wire," and the Nomu that just that turned into a bat turns into it and just basically goes to where the other guy was at and just starts not swinging but blitzing to the other man. And the guy was about to punch him, but this is when Izuku swaps places with him and basically was just punching the air. Izuku just says "whip" and just starts slashing at the freaking guy. This is when the bully number 3 just starts saying, "That hurts. Please don't stop doing that to me." And he says, "What's wrong? You guys were trying to beat me up. Where's that energy at? Come on, if there's something that I really hate, it's when people decide to fight me and not defend themselves. That's not easy. That's pitiful." And he just starts whipping this guy. And after that, just starts kicking him in the stomach, saying, "Are you guys gonna keep doing that?" And he says, "No." And this is when he gets hit again. "I said, are you gonna keep doing that?" And the guy says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. It was supposed to just be easy." And he says, "With me, not too many things are easy. Now, why don't you run along?" And this is when the fire guy basically, after getting knocked out, gets back up and says, What happened to that idiot? Where is he at?" He says, "Oh, he's all right. He's in severe pain, and I bet he is traumatically scarred for the rest of his life after what I put him through. But you, yes, you were going to burn me, I'm guessing, since looking at your quirk, it's not meant for hugging, huh? Hugging? This is what Izuku says. But you're made out of fire, right? So I can't just, punch you with my hands. You know what? I got this. He turns his bat into not his bat. He turns the Nomu into a katana and just says, "Why don't I just cut you up here and now? Snuff the flames, if you will." The guy says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! What the? How'd you do that?" And he says, "Oh, this. Let's just say my father helped me get this. And I'm going to enjoy her doing this to you." This is when he just starts slashing at his arms, and then after that, hitting the Achilles tendon on the guy's at his leg, and this is when the guy falls on one knee. Izuku's saying, "Get up." The guy just starts getting back up, and he says, "You think I'm that weak?" And he just shoots out a fireball at Izuku. Izuku just switching places with him, and the guy just looks and sees that he gets hit with his own attack. It doesn't do too much, but it does hit. It does cause like a concussive force on him. And Izuku just this is when he gets some rope and just starts choking him. And he says, If you guys ever come back to me with any of that crap, I will kill you. Do you understand me? Give me a second here, people. Yes, in this, Izuku is, what's the word? He's more brutal in his fights. That doesn't mean he's very strong, but he's tactful. He knows sometimes when a fight's easy and when a fight's gonna be difficult. He chooses his battles, and Izuku's really head smart when it comes to it, but his body isn't as strong as him. That's why he trains every day. Right now, if I was to see, Izuku's strong enough to be... Ooh, how strong is he? He's strong enough to fight toe to toe with Kirishima for a while, and he's smarter than Izuku. Well, he's smarter than Season 2 Izuku. So that's pretty much that. But yeah, he's not strong. He's not stronger than Kirishima. How strong is? You know what? He's stronger than 8% Deku. When it comes to like fighting styles in general. He doesn't have like a strength quirk, but he's able to lift like 200 pounds? And he's like 130, 140. So that's pretty good right now at his age. Nothing too brutal. If you guys don't understand why am I speaking like this, or if I keep, getting in and out, is because my throat hurts. I inhaled things that I shouldn't inhaled. It's not drugs, but it is insulation, dust, soot at work. So if you guys were on the live stream yesterday, yeah, basically right now I feel like my throat hurts a lot. I thought, you know what, I'll keep trying, and I decided to make this, so hopefully you guys like this one. But anyway, Izuku, after a couple of after those years, he trained on how to make his quirk very, very lethal. from using his weapons, from swapping places with people, even so much so to he swapped places with a whole tree. And that's saying something for now. Like, he need a hell of a lot of stamina for that. So, with that, Izuku is ready himself to get a quirk soon. But this is when Izuku's life turns into a story of romance and what the heck's going on. Izuku is called by Kurogiri and says, young master, where are you at?" Izuku says, "Oh, I'm behind the school. Hey, is there any way you can swipe some of the memories off these guys? They are very, very, very bad guys. And I possibly killed somebody. It was all in self-defense, but in the end, it was my fault." He says, "No, no worries, Izuku. I know somebody who can take. I know somebody. And well, the one that got killed. Oh, is he still breathing?" And he says, "Yes, this one's actually still breathing, but give it a couple more hours. I don't think he'll survive." And this is when Kurogiri just says, "I'll be there in a few seconds." This is when he actually sees Kurogiri and says, "Yeah, this is my fault, Kurogiri. I should have done that." He says, "Izuku, in the future you have to kill people. As much as you don't want to, it is natural for you to do it." Izuku looks at him and says, "What if I don't want to kill people? What if I just want to live a normal life? Yeah, sure, I don't have too big of an issue killing people. I mean, not ever since my second killing. But I guess I just want to live normally. I don't want to follow my father's footsteps all the time. I just want to be my own person. But I'm scared that he might hate me for that. It makes me sad that if I don't do what my father wants, will he hate me?" Kurogiri says, "No, I don't believe your father is capable of hatred towards you. Ever since what happened with your mother, he's loved you ever since. But for now, he needs you to help it with his plan. I don't think your whole life will be dedicated to this. So that's not too big of an issue. The issue is if you're willing to do it. If you're not, then the plan will go normally. But with you around, it will go smoothly. I think that he would rather have you by his side." And this is when Izuku says, "Alright, I understand. Anyway, we gotta get these people. We gotta at least, get these two to get their memory wiped." This is when he says, "Oh, yeah, I forgot that one dude. Uh, you know what? I don't think he's ever gonna speak about it either way." He says, "What other man?" This is when Izuku says, "Oh, before, well, after I demolished the two, I kind of tortured somebody. I kind of whipped him until he spoke, and he has a lot of cuts and bruises on him. and I basically scared the ever-loving crap out of him. So, yeah, I feel kind of bad. And he says, again, it is your duty. It is your duty to do what you must. Anyway, let's go. Izuku and him basically get into the layer of not overhaul, of one for all for my bad, all for one. And he says, Izuku, how have you been, son? He says, I've been alright, Dad. I got into a little fight, and one of them is not going to make it. I was wondering if you want to have this quirk. It's a speed quirk. It actually helps out a lot. And he says, I see. You know what? I will see this man, that he gets a proper burial, seeing as he was one of your classmates. And he says, no, that won't be necessary, Dad. If you want, you can basically turn him into a Nomu. And he says, Izuku, I never heard you say this before. And he says, yeah, well, I figured that he wasn't too bad. I mean, he just wanted to protect his friends. And seeing that he was at least willing to do that, he put his life on the line, trying to at least get me to be in a coma. So I kind of repaid his kindness with kindness. Oh boy. I don't know whether if I messed up or not. Should I have killed him? Should I not have killed him? And he says, you could turn him into a Nomu. And he says, yeah, we'll do that. And this is when the doctor says, like father, like son, I see. Doctor, how have you been? Oh, just working on these Nomus day in and day out, creating armies and such. Izuku says, yeah, sorry for making you do all this. So much work. I don't know how you could be able to do all this. He says, after creating one Nomu, creating the rest was a cinch. Just working on one can make me, think of how I can make others easily. And with them helping me with my experiments, it became a cinch. Now, Izuku, looking at All for One says, very well, if that's what my son wants, I have no choice. I will take his quirk, and after this, the guy will just knock out and then rest in peace. Izuku holds his hands together and says, may your soul find some rest in the afterlife. And this is when he says, sound just like your mother. Wait, Mom did this? And he says, yes. You see, your mother was a hero. And she was a good woman. Now, I never told you that, but she was a hero. He says, wait, what kind of hero was she? He said she was known as the hero that never misses. And this is when Izuku says, can you elaborate on that? He says, certainly. Your mother had a telekinesis quirk. Not telekinesis quirk, I don't know how to, I forgot what that thing was called. I think it's telekinesis. Yeah, where she can pull objects towards her or away from her. Now, she was the one who stopped me in my tracks. and just fought me. Me, me thinking that it was kind of adorable that a small time hero could do it. But she captivated me in her green, beautiful eyes. The same eyes that you have, son. And after that, I decided to stop killing for a while and just be with her. One thing led to another, and you were born. Dad, I never heard of this story. How come you never told me this any sooner? He says, well, it's been a long time. Redigging the whole past is something that I do not like doing. Because had I been there to save your mother, you would have met her. That is something I can never live down. I cannot forgive myself for what I've done. So, if you ever think that I should have done something or called me evil or bad or get angry at me for that, I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't lie to you. Well, I won't lie to you. I would accept it regardless. I would have chased the ends of the earth. I would have done everything I could. Even being no longer evil. I would have done all that if it meant having your mother back and having somebody to love again. But it's neither here or there. Now, Izuku is just saying, alright. And this is when All For One says, oh, here you go. He gives Izuku the speed quirk. And he says, ow, my body hurts. And this is when he says, what'd you give me? And he says, I gave you his quirk. It is not strong. I do not know why. I thought it would make me fast, but that's not giving me any speed yet, so maybe you killing him, you could probably use it. This is when the doctor sees something in the guy's hand, and the student that Izuku killed basically had some drugs, because the doctor says, this is rather odd. It looks like a little shot. And Izuku says, a shot? What are you talking about? And he says, I don't know what it is, but it is called amplifier. This is rather odd. Izuku saying, what do you mean? It seems that the guy took this and amplified his quirk. That's probably how the student died. And he says, wait a minute, I thought it was because I struck him with a bat. And not only that, my dad took away his quirk, making him weaker and killing him off. And he says, yes, but I was in that boy's position once, and I had my skull crushed. I almost left me brain dead if it wasn't for your father. But it wouldn't have killed me. At least not entirely. But this did something. It's an amplifier drug. I will test on it for a while, young man. So do not worry. And Izuku says, alright, so everything is kind of weirded out, but, well, I guess somebody's giving kids drugs. Great. Just what I needed to find out. People now can get stronger just by getting high. And All for One says, speaking of students and people, you're getting betrothed. Izuku says, yes, that's nice, Dad. I'm gonna get married. Anyway, how does this? Wait a second here. Wait a second. Run that by me again, sir. You are getting betrothed to a young lady, Izuku. Son. And he says, no. No, I am... This, Dad, please tell me that this is not what I'm hearing. I'm getting betrothed? To a girl? Have I met her before? No, son. Great. Is she normal? No, son. Not normal. Oh, fantastic. Obviously, you didn't happen to catch what her name is? No. What she looks like? No, son. So I don't know what she looks like. So for all I know, she can be a beluga whale, or ugly, or something else like that. Dad, why'd you get me betrothed? I am a middle school child. I am not ready for a relationship. I don't even know how to talk to chicks, much less get betrothed. This is when All for One says, son, here's the thing. I know a man who is willing to work and have their people pledge a loyalty to me. And in exchange, I will marry my son out to them, which will give them a higher status in the underground crime ring. I don't know how to say it, you guys. I'm sorry. The criminal in the bad guy system. They're gonna get a higher ranking in the bad guy system, despite the fact that they are really known in Japan, in America. Oh, so she's American. All right. Well, that's good and well, but does she have a name? Yes, she does have a name. He says, alright, so do you at least remember the name? No. Oh, wait, yeah, no. No, yes, I do. I do know who the name is. Rose Wilson. She is, the daughter of Slade Wilson. Sir, you don't mean the Slade Wilson. Yes, the Slade Wilson. This is when Izuku's given all the background of the backstory of Slade being the strongest known killer to be there without possessing a quirk. Izuku says, not even a quirk? But how? In this world, Izuku, quirks do not just quirks do not define the person. Although it does, it doesn't define him. He's an assassin, a warrior, somebody who could kill me as easily as I could just kill him. But he's willing to offer stuff. And, well, he has some negotiation tactics such as money. And not only that, we can get protection from his team. He knows some people, and and these people are actually at a higher rank as well. And Izuku says, "Oh dear God. Well, all right, Dad. I will marry her. Is she kind, sweet? Oh wait, I'm sorry, Dad. You don't even know her." And Izuku and this is when sorry about that. This is when he says, "Yeah, my son is upset at me, but it's what to expect." Now, I'm gonna end it off here. If you guys liked it, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout with a Fear. Bye.